drive your cars.
Yep.
Drive your cars. You guys put all this money in your car. I get the whole show car thing, make them nice and shiny, make them look good, get your trophies. Guys, drive your cars. Your cars need to be driven. You put gas in it, you put oil in it, hit the gas, waste the gas, put more gas in it, drive your car, man. Buy tires, burn them, buy more tires. These cars are meant to be driven, not to be stored. What's going on, guys? This is Jose with Culture Driven, and this is Culture Driven TV, Garage Talk Episode 1, where we talk about cars, things in the industry, wheels, brakes, whatever. Anything that has to do with a car, we're going to talk about it. So, I'm here with Paul from Initial G. We're at his shop right now. Plenty to look at in here, plenty to talk about. So I'm looking forward to this. You got anything to say before we get started, bro?
I don't know.
I'm just here.
What's up, guys? My name's Paul. I'm owner of Initial G Motorsports. I'm here in St. Augustine, Florida. I'm happy to have you guys here, showcasing the shop, showing you guys what I can do, what I have been doing, and what we're doing in the future, maybe.
Yep.
But I'm excited to just have some conversations about cool stuff.
Cool. Now that we got past all the boring stuff, let's talk about cars. Bro, so you sent me a picture the other day. We're going to talk about what you do and stuff here.
Yeah.
But a picture of a Lamborghini, you're doing some exhaust work. Is that you welding it? Are you doing like just installations, or what exactly are you doing with that specific car?
Sure, yeah. So I've done a couple of them now at this point. I'm trying to break into a little bit more of the fabrication world. I've got some heroes out there who've helped me along the way get there. But
Cool.
I mean, realistically, yes, I'm hand fabricating custom exhausts, whether it's stainless or titanium.
Right.
Just depending on what they want to do. But yeah, I'm
cool.
trying to kind of create my own flair to it. Not necessarily just replicate something, but create something that's kind of a little bit more artistic.
I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, the picture looked good. I didn't see it in person, but I will soon.
Yeah.
I know that's right. And then, man, let's talk about what you got in here, because there's some pretty cool stuff in here. I mean, you guys see it in the background. I don't know if you guys can see the Supra and stuff behind Paul, but yeah, man, when I met him in Ponte Vedra at the Ponte Vedra Auto Show, he had that Supra out there, and I'm out there taking pictures, and I like to meet the people that, own the cars or whatever. And we got to talking. He told me about the shop, and here we are, 2 years later,
Oh yeah.
sitting down talking about it, and you've added the project back there.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about that.
The business name Initial G, obviously it's a play off of Initial D.
Right.
I think if you're gonna enjoy the JDM culture and you like what you like, that's an important part of our culture,
Big time,
right?
man, big time.
So that 86 came to me, and just actually it's maybe not even been a year now.
Wow.
Yeah. So a little bit of a backstory, if you guys know what it is and who it was. John was a good sport about it. He got it over to me, and we're just trying to have fun with it at this point. Get it ready, go have fun, and that's what it's about, man. It's about having fun.
Drive it.
That's it, driving it.
Drive your cars.
Yep.
Drive your cars. You guys put all this money in your car. I get the whole show car thing, make them nice and shiny, make them look good, get your trophies. Guys, drive your cars. Your cars need to be driven. You put gas in it, you put oil in it, hit the gas, waste the gas, put more gas in it, drive your car, man. Buy tires, burn them, buy more tires. These cars are meant to be driven, not to be stored. I do appreciate the classics and stuff, like the number cars.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that, but one of 25, one of 50.
Sure.
They park them, they show them, they showcase them. I will say though, Vincent Howard, you were at the showcase with More and More to Social. He drives his cars.
Oh yeah, he does.
He collects them.
Yeah.
He has a bunch of rare cars and he drives them.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's about, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah. So back to this thing back here, the 86. It's not your regular 86.
Oh no.
So when I walked up to it, man, I noticed in the engine bay there's something that you don't typically see in that car. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's getting to be a little bit more common now. You get some guys like Jimmy Oaks and those guys out there on YouTube doing some fun stuff to these cars.
Right.
But at the moment, it's got a turbocharged K24. It's got a 6-speed out of an S2000 in it.
Yep.
It's originally a GTS Torino car, so of course, it's got all the goodies you want.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a rocket ship, and power goals somewhere around the 400 range. Thing weighs less than 2,000 pounds. It's just going to be fun.
Yeah, man, that thing was sick. When I looked at it, I was like, K-swap. That's wild.
Yeah.
It's one thing when you see them online, but when you can actually run up to one and like physically look at it,
Yeah.
it's just a whole nother ballgame.
If
Because you
it's-
can
if
you can
it's well.
dissect it. You know?
Yeah, oh yeah, it fits really, really well. And, of course, I, throwing my flair into it, doing stuff that, is completely unnecessary but looks good, like, titanium charge pipes and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Why not?
I mean, put your touch on it.
That's it.
You know, put
That's
your
it.
flavor on
A
there.
little bit of flair with it, a little bit of style. Again,
For
that's
sure.
kind of what I've always been about. A little bit of OEM plus, a little bit of
Gotta love it.
JDM everything. So,
Gotta love it.
yeah, man.
Function, man. Form and
Function.
function, baby.
That's it.
So, aside from that, the Supra back there, we were talking about it earlier. You said 800 horsepower,
It's roughly, right around 800.
give or take.
Was.
Was. Yeah,
is going to be.
So, are you chasing power?
Not really with that car. No.
Okay.
I mean, I did for sure wanted to hit the 4 figures pretty regularly. I wanted that.
Right.
I overbuilt the engine. I've been fighting some issues with that engine.
I mean, that's what you see. That's what you see with these
right,
cars.
right,
The
yeah.
Supras. I mean, they're going 4-digit.
all day.
That's like end goal.
All day. I mean, it's it's obviously a big milestone for a lot of people to have 1,000 horsepower, right?
Right.
And I mean, I'm for one. I've been in and driven plenty of them that have over that, and they're blast. But 700 plus daily Supras, that's a lot of fun, man.
And that's become normal nowadays, even with these modern cars. You're getting 6, 7, sometimes 8 in some of these cars that you're driving off the lot. And it's insane to think about that, because in the 90s, we're geeked up about 150 horsepower.
Yeah.
If that.
Oh, yeah.
So with that, it's like, I don't know, you talk about 800. You talk about that a couple years ago, people are looking at you crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But now it's kind of normal.
It is. It seems to be that. And
but it's not normal. It's normal, but it ain't.
It's right. It's like it's almost an expectation now for Supras.
Right.
If you're almost
For
like,
that genre,
right,
yeah.
If you've got a stock Mark IV, you're almost kind of like, well, why, right? And usually it's a transition period, right? They're either keeping it stock for that value, like we touched on a little bit, or they've got those plans for the big power later on.
Right. And everybody, I mean, you want power, you want reliability. You kind of got to find that fine line between the two.
Yeah.
But regardless, when you're driving your car, you got to work on your car.
That's it.
That's what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I drove it every single day, and I have driven it every single day. If it's broken, that's the only time it's not driving. Then I usually try to drive it every single day.
Cool, man. Now, just to stay on topic, but kind of, go somewhere else with it. As far as your first car, let's talk about that. Because I'll tell you what my first car was. It was a 92 Honda Accord.
Okay.
2-door, 5-speed, like CB7 model.
Yeah.
I was in high school. I had the rims. I had the 212s in the back. Whatever. I wasn't racing anybody, but that was my first car, and it was $1,000. So let's talk about your car.
So mine I got pretty lucky with in a different way. It was $400. Me and my dad picked it out. It was a '91 Mazda Miata.
Okay.
So it is what it is. And
for how much again?
$400.
Yeah.
Yeah, $400.
Yeah, now you're getting a rust bucket for $400.
Yeah.
You need a,
So, I mean, me and my dad fixed it up. He showed me the ropes with a lot of stuff. I kept that car for 8 years.
Wow.
I had it for a very long time. I started learning how to drive with it, autocross, then some track racing.
Cool.
And, of course, I wanted to make it faster. So built the engine, turbocharger, did a bunch of stuff. And, I mean, that's kind of where my passion started was that car, And
so with
Legos,
it being a Miata, Legos too, man. Don't get me started on that. Legos, Hot Wheels, that's a whole nother ballgame.
Got them right there?
Dude, yeah, I know, man. I was digging through him when you went outside. I was like, let me see what he's got.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, as far as like, okay, the Miata, you talking about track stuff and all that. Would you prefer like drifting, or would you prefer time attack? Like, what's your out of those two? I know drifting is it's been big.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I see a lot more people talking about that.
So it's new to me as far as being a participant, and I have always loved it. But for me, I've always kind of, because I'm my own mechanic, if you will, I've always looked at it like, hey, if you're going to go out there and tear the car up to have a little bit of fun, it's like, it always seemed like it wasn't worth the reward.
Gotcha.
Having done it a lot more recently, man, that is such an adrenaline rush. There is something to be said. I mean, there's obviously skill involved, heavy skill involved in both sets of it. I've done a lot more road racing in my life than I have drifting. That's why I'm kind of like moving towards that, because it's something new for me.
Yeah.
And it's always been more about the passion of doing it, being the driver, and not necessarily trying to be number one.
Just enjoying it.
Enjoying it.
And
sometimes I feel like when you get too competitive with stuff, that joy does get sucked out of you.
I will say with that, it's a good point. And I've never raced cars. Like, I'll sit in a go-kart and rip that.
Oh yeah.
But as far as cars, like track driving, all that, I haven't, but I will. I'm not opposed to it. The guys that are in the back of the pack and the guys in the front, they're all having a blast.
They are.
That's what it's about.
That's it.
They're driving their cars. They're going out there on the track. They're racing.
They're
whether they
doing
win or lose. I
something,
mean, yeah,
right?
you want to win if
Right.
there's like cash involved. You know, you want to be the guy. Everybody wants to be the guy. But when it comes down to it, like, they're all doing what they want to do, and they're all getting a rush.
Yeah.
And they're all just in their car,
That's
ripping
man.
it. That's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. Drifting's crazy. I don't even like. Maybe on a video game I can rip, but like real life, that's just that concept is just it's insane. And I don't have the pockets to just hit a corner,
Yeah.
and then go back and like reconstruct the whole car.
Right.
Like I'd rather spend my money in other things.
Again, and that's kind of where I bring that up. It's like, you know, I'm deconstructing that 86 to be rebuildable.
Right.
Period. You know, I'm cutting out floors. I'm putting in, you know, I'm making bash bars that are replaceable.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, part of my soul dies a little bit because I love my cars. And when I put that amount of work into something to just go tear it up, it hurts my soul.
Yeah.
But again, its intended purpose for me is to enjoy it, drive it, do what everyone has done. You know, Suchiya's out there throwing his around and he doesn't care, you know, because he loves it. And you watch any of those old things, the option video and all that stuff, that they're just out there having a blast time.
Man, a blast.
That's what it's about. Just
For
want to
sure.
have fun, dude. Just wanna
Love it. All right, now let's talk. I don't know, man. We could talk about wheel specs if you like wheels. You know, we talked about a couple wheels before we got started, and you got a couple wheels laying around here.
Yeah, I got some stuff.
Me personally, I got the Graham Lights, the 57 CRs on my. Don't hate me. I got Japanese wheels on my Beamer. Best combo though. Best combo. Aside from those wheels, man, what are your like go to? Like if you were to say, hey, okay, let's do top three wheels. Say, hey, man, for the Supra, we're gonna put some wheels on here. I know you got BC on there right now, but let's talk about it. Top 3 that you would go to,
man,
on the Supra.
So, I love some Workmeisters, some 3-piece Workmeisters.
Right.
You know, I had them on there a little while. I had SSRs, right? I had SSRs, right? But you know, ultimately they're all that wheelhouse, man. You've got welds, you've got, you know, I mean, not weld. What am I talking about?
Welds,
welds like drag stuff. But
stuff,
no, you got Rays, right? You've got HREs, right? I mean, there are so many great ones out there. But you know, I've never been a TE fan, you know, but I've also been an RPF1 fan, which is like, you know, it's kind of the same coin there, right?
Somebody about the whole Enki wheel thing between like the RPF1. I'm going NT03 over RPF1, but the RPF1 is a classic.
Well,
just like the Workmeister wheel, it's a classic. Just like the TE, it's a classic. But then again, you start to go into like the whole trendy thing. It's like,
yes,
I got this car, I need to find some TEs, but so does the other 150 guys.
Right.
You know, so try to be different, I guess.
I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to for me. It's like, yeah, of course, everyone loves the 3-piece. Everyone loves the flashiness. Everyone loves the name brand stuff. But, you know, it's like, to be fair, every car, you know, it you know, it's like having a new pair of shoes, right? You know, it's like every car deserves that same kind of like touch, right? So like, yeah, you can go through 8, 9, 10 different sets of wheels until you really know what you like, but it's so personal, right? And that's kind of what this is all about, right? At the end of the day,
it's got to be yours.
Right, you got to make it yours. I mean, lately I've you know been a big fan of BC Racing, BC Forged. You know, they make some great wheels, and
you know, I see a lot of cars here in Jacksonville.
Yeah. Well, it's because they're right down south of us.
Yeah.
You know?
And they respond, too.
They are good.
Like, they're on it.
They're on it.
So shout out to them.
Yeah, they're on it, man. You know, obviously with Rays and all the real Japanese... I mean, let's be honest, man. You know, I've got some Watanabes on the 86.
Yeah.
You want to talk about favorites? That's definitely up there for me.
Oh, it's up there.
You know, with Larry Chen just doing his you know, tour of the foundry, I mean, you know, we're getting an insight into something that's been going on for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
It's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm proud to own those. You know, I'm super proud to own those.
It's a clean wheel. It represents the culture,
that's it,
especially JDM. Like, dude, all day.
To a T.
All day long. You mentioned HREs too, man, and I'm not knocking them, but dude, even with BBS.
Oh,
like,
BBS. I mean, yeah. How do you not love BBS?
But the pricing is just when you get a car, and I'm not knocking that either, because man, y'all make a quality wheel, both of y'all. But dude, the man, 7, 8K, sometimes 13.
Well, and you know,
quality.
Let's say it's you know, it's like the broke guy problem. You know what I'm saying? When you got the money and you want something that is definitely top tier.
Yep.
Excuse me.
No, you're good.
Whew, excuse me. Yeah, well, like when you're making something, you've got something top tier, you know, you do need to differentiate yourself from these other companies. You know, I mean, Rhoda, right? Like, you know, you could buy a set of reps and they're going to look the exact same roughly.
Yeah.
But, you know,
design wise, but as far as the integrity
strength
of the wheel,
quality. Yeah, HRE, BBS, the big names, Rays again.
Yeah.
All these companies, they're delivering a quality product, and that's why you see them, relatively in motorsports as well.
Right.
They're strong. They're
Yeah.
strong and
They
light.
have purpose too.
That's right.
Like weight,
Yes.
like I mentioned earlier, integrity,
Yeah.
what you're gonna be using it for.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's a big deal. With
Yeah.
buying wheels.
I think like with BBS, right? I mean, they've been around for God ever, right? I mean, it's hard to argue and say that a set of BBSs don't look amazing on a lot of cars.
And that's the thing too. The designs,
They're timeless.
exactly.
They're timeless.
Exactly, bro.
They look just as good on an F40 as they do a modern BMW. And
I'm
you're
telling you, man.
You're like, wow, so I think that's kind of where it comes down to, the big expensive, we do some Lamborghini stuff like we talked about. We're working towards putting, a set of pretty wide wheels on a center lock Lambo coming up.
Like 12 wide, 13?
Yeah, like max, right? 13 and a half, 13.
Yeah.
I mean, they're running 355s. That's Lambo spec. So it's like
big boys.
Big boys, right. And it's like, to get something that big with it not weighing a metric, ton.
Yeah.
Right. And then it being strong, right? And you've got a lot of stuff on the line for stuff like that. So, I kind of look at it with two things. Quality is quality, but also when you've got an investment like that, like a car like that, a GT3 RS, a Lamborghini,
right.
a Ferrari,
I mean, yeah.
You don't want to cheap out on something.
Nah, no way.
You got to have somebody who's standing behind what they make, and that's where I can justify something like an HRE.
Well, right? Yeah. When you're in that level,
right?
Because that's a whole nother.
HREs on my Miata, that seems silly.
No, that's crazy.
Right.
And I've seen some on the M3s, M4s, M5s. Sure. That's fine. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, but that's no different than having like a really nice set of Jordans you wear every now and a blue moon.
Yeah, right.
There again, it's a little bit about style. It's a little bit about look at me, and
the flashiness.
Yeah, dude. And listen, they make some nice wheels, dude. They really do. I'm envious. I want.
You know who else makes some really nice wheels? Rotiform. When you get in the three piece category, Rotiform. As far as the monoblock stuff, but dude, the 3-piece stuff that Rotiform puts out, it's pretty. You see a lot of it overseas, though.
Sure, yeah.
On the builds out there.
I feel like there's a certain amount of quality that is going to be an expectation when you go to a 3-piece wheel, right? Spun forged and stuff like that. That's all. This machines all do it, but like 3-piece, a lot of the times you got to have human hands on it to get it right.
Yeah.
And so really, if you're coming to the market with a set of 3-piece wheels or 2-piece wheels that are subpar, you're really shooting yourself in the foot, because you don't, Rota, right? Let's say Rota in the early 2010s, 5.8s,
big
those
time.
things were falling apart, breaking. People were having not a good day, right? And I would like to think that they came up and made a lot better stuff now.
With the
you don't
technology.
See it as, I mean, you get a lot of we were talking about a little earlier, you get a lot of the same stuff being made in relatively the same place. And when that technology is shared, it's not a hard shift to make something quality anymore.
Do you think that has to do a lot with access to information that we have as consumers? Maybe it's been going on for the longest time and we finally got word?
I think that's what's going on right now. You've got a lot of big names out there, and I'll try to, listen, we're distributors for a lot of great companies.
Yeah.
And
we won't name drop for this conversation.
Right. We won't name drop for this company.
Yeah.
But like at this point, you've got all of the foundries making a lot of these wheels, and again, not going too deep into it all. We're having a hard time now in the wheel industry knowing if it's legit. And that's where I would say, our nostalgia with stuff. That's why, like, when you buy a set of SSRs, like, dude, they're real.
Yeah.
Nobody's making SSRs.
Yeah.
Gone.
100%.
Right? So,
100%. I just had a set of SSRs that I rebuilt and sold.
Like Ron, right? Nobody's making that.
Nah.
Right.
Nah.
The fact that Watanabe is still making their wheels.
And if you do find a set, make sure it's a reliable source from the marketplace or whatever it is, and know it's a legit guy you're buying it from, because man, it gets shiesty.
Yes,
shiesty out here.
Yeah, it is. It's true. And I've been pretty lucky. I've been very diligent with my stuff. And I do. I'm like everybody else. I like that rare stuff. I got a set of Toyota TRD Rays wheels over there that are rare, and you're like, whoa, that's a 2-piece Rays Toyota wheel.
Gotta love it.
It's like.
I'm not opposed to the off-road stuff that Rays does either, man.
It's clean. Dude, they make some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, again, not to jump on the BC train, they just started too, and that's just across the board, right? I mean, I got a Land Cruiser, an LX 470, same thing, and you know, it's like, man, I want to throw a set of freaking 17-inch piece wheels on that. Just why not? You know,
with some 35s or something.
It's right. You know, and it's just like, you know, we can look good hard parked.
Yeah.
You know,
no, for sure. Nothing wrong with parking hard.
But I don't want to spend $8,000 if I don't have to.
Yeah, I hear that.
Simple as that.
I hear that, man. Especially when you can buy a whole project for, you know, less than that and put some money into it and build a whole car.
Talk about 86s, right? I mean, mine's special, right? Right-hand drive from Japan, all that fun stuff. You know, they're getting to be hard to find. They're expensive over here in the States, but you know, get yourself a left-hand drive coupe, right? You can drive one home for $5,000.
And that's the thing too you touched on, man, getting hard to find. A lot of these, you know, 90s cars, specifically JDM cars that we grew up seeing, even some of the Euro stuff and even American stuff, but obviously that's more taken care of because we're, you know, it's our stomping ground.
We're here, right?
But with the Euro stuff and the JDM stuff, man, it's really, really hard to find some quality 90s, even early 2000s stuff. That's not beat up.
Yeah.
That's not neglected. And the prices for those that are neglected is a bit crazy. And I just gotta say this about the used car market too, guys. It's the whole peak that we had 3, 4, 5 years ago. That's over with. Let's go ahead and knock the prices down about $3, $4, $5,000.
Yeah.
Get it back to normal so we can enjoy this stuff and spend more money on our cars. Cause dude, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, just finding quality stuff from older cars like that.
It's tough, man.
It's tough.
It's tough.
But we're going through the same thing that the classic car guys that are stomping around here.
But the difference is, especially with the domestic market here, and again, we talked about it. I've got wild knowledge on the domestic market. That's where I started. But, you know, you've got companies who have manufactured American parts for the better part of 75 years. Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, with Toyota being, honestly, Toyota is and Nissan now is also, you know, playing with the heritage program a bit. Toyota's finally listening to their audience, and they're bringing back stuff that we need to keep their product alive.
Right.
I think
Honda stepped into that.
Yeah. Honda's now doing it too, right? I went to the dealer to get some stuff for that transmission, my S2000 trans. I mean, that car's been out of production since what, 09? You know, so it's like, you know, there's a certain amount of need and want, and I think a lot of people have lost a lot of faith in a lot of new cars. And again, I look at my LX 470 and it's got over 300,000 miles on it.
Tech, man, the tech on these newer cars is crazy. You know.
Oh yeah.
But he was talking about updates on a car.
That's right.
That's insane.
Right. I mean, to be, you know, I mean, listen, we can fight it all we want, right? The technology is going to be in our vehicles, and you know, I think it's tough because I feel like as drivers, right, as the people who enjoy the car culture, you know, I'm not saying we're a dying breed necessarily, but what I'm seeing is manufacturers, you know, they're outside of a few, right, and BMW is clearly making great cars for driving. You know, people want to drive their cars.
It's
you know, Toyota is still doing that, right? You know, but take a look at like you know, other companies, Mitsubishi. I mean, they're gone.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, they made
Dude,
some of the most.
I don't even know why the Eclipse tried to stay relevant.
But yeah, like you know, you're saying,
the Eclipse with Mitsubishi. Man, it's a shame.
I don't know. It's just like it's kind of the same thing.
You've got a real one outside.
Yeah, we got.
When I say real, I mean like you guys know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Fast and Furious, all that. You know, all that hype.
The one, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, and that's kind of what it is, you know. And that guy's young, dude. He's 21, and he brought me that.
That's awesome.
And that's what I love. And I'm
that's
just like,
awesome.
You know, igniting that passion into the younger generation is tough, you know, because especially when you guys. Man, we got BMWs back here with hundreds of horsepower.
Yeah.
All of the luxury.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, drives fantastic, sounds fantastic, is fast, you know, does everything you want it to do. How do you convince somebody to say, go struggle? Go struggle a little bit in that older car. Good luck finding stuff. Right? Learn about it. You know,
I didn't finance a car for a while. I was out there like, okay, my next car is this one. And by the way, I had 3 of those Accords. But yeah, man, it was just on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. Like, what's my next project? It was always like, okay, finish this car. All right, time to sell it. Because it wasn't like, you know, the love of my life, you know?
Sure. Well,
and I was like, all right,
stepping
cool.
stones, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I mean, that's where I started with the Miata. I mean, my journey was like Miata 280Z Datsun, then FDRX7, right? Then Mark IV Supra.
Dude,
right? You know, and what's next? I don't know. You know, I would love an exotic. I enjoy driving these things.
Right.
Because guess what? When I get in it, it does what I want it to do.
So exotics. I mean, it's a topic I don't really talk much about exotics.
Sure.
I appreciate exotics. I love seeing them, taking pictures of them, and just having them in front of me makes me feel like they're that much more accessible.
Sure.
You know, because you know, you're around the people that like, they can guide you in the direction to get, you know, if that's what you want. But you look at the pricing of an exotic car, and don't get me wrong, dude, I'd turn the key on one all day long.
Yeah.
But I'm really into like the E90 M3, the 86, the Supra, I mean, even the G80. But like you mentioned, drivers' cars. And I'm not saying like McLaren, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche. Those are all drivers' cars.
Absolutely.
But man, I'm telling you, like I could do so much more with $235,000-$300,000.
Sure. And again, it kind of comes back to what we were discussing. And you know, as I work with some of these clientele who, you know, have enough to do what they want to do with their lives. You know, I can appreciate being able to, you know, look at that car and go that, yeah, okay, it may be a status symbol. But for some, it's not just that. It's the same thing we're talking about. They've just been successful enough in their life.
Yes, it's a car guy that got to that level that's not just buying it, turning the key and driving it,
right? You know, and it's just like you've worked up to some BMWs, and it's like it's the same thing. I was fortunate enough to get into a Mark IV Supra, man.
But I appreciate an exotic owner that puts money into their exotic car.
Sure.
Like aside from wheels, like, you know, the exhaust work that you're doing,
carbon,
you know,
exhaust,
turbo, like just lip kits, all that. They're making it theirs. They're not buying the poster that they saw.
Right.
You know.
But you know, and it's the poster though, right? The poster is what inspired all of us at the end of the day. You know, if you're in the 30s and you didn't have a Lambo or an F40 or something like that, Viper, right? If you didn't have those up on your wall,
let's not forget about that.
Yeah. It's like we're we car people, you know, and you know, again, touching on the luxury exotics, right? You know, again, I think that's just it's out of my wheelhouse. I'm too broke to have the conversation, you know. But I
broke because we're
them.
spending money on our own cars.
Yeah.
You know,
like I think
they always want something. Oh, you're talking about another car? Well, look, I need this.
What's your dream exodic? Your dream, like no money's no question. What do you get?
You know what? And I wouldn't even go like brand new. I'd probably go. I'd say F430, but I'm gonna go wide body F430, bag, you know, wheels, like that type of build. But I appreciate the body lines on that car, and just the sound, the raw sound.
Oh, dude, yeah.
You know,
I mean, I struggle with this only because I get asked it quite often. But you know, if money was no option, I look at really two, right? I'm looking at an F40. Right, because what was its purpose? That's twin turbo.
That's big time.
Right. I mean, we're talking again. I said money's no option.
Yeah.
The other one's like a Pagani Zonda R.
Oh wow, okay.
You know, and again, not just a Zonda. I like the R. It's all carbon. It's raw.
So I saw one of those at Cafe and Octane, and obviously they open it all up because it looks insane.
Yeah, that was the Hyra, right?
Hyra,
right?
Hyra.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't a Zonda. It was a Hyra.
Right.
But AMG.
Dude, AMG GTs.
Dude, no, I'm saying the motor that was in
right,
that.
yes.
Yeah,
yep,
insane.
Absolutely, yeah.
Insane. I didn't know that because I'm not in that. Well, I guess more now being around it, but when I saw that, it just blew my mind, the fact that, you know, Mercedes had their hands in there.
Dude, well, and I mean, dude, V12, right? I mean, at the end of the day, V12 Mercedes.
I mean, they're competing F1 and stuff, so it makes sense.
Well, yeah, right. They brought the McLaren. They brought that McLaren up.
Yeah.
And you know, it's stuff like that where, I have the same conversation. I'm like, wow, that is just so much money, right? And it's like, but they're driving it. They drove it there.
Yeah. True.
You know, and it's hard to hate that because you know I still look up to, like, let's say two very influential people in the car community, not necessarily JDM or, you know, I'm looking at Jerry Seinfeld and I'm looking at Jay Leno. Both of those guys, you know, they've inspired me to enjoy driving cars because, I mean, Jay has hundreds and he drives all of them, and he works on all of them. You talk about having a dream job. If I made it and things were great,
perfect world.
Right, I would own a ton of cars. I would drive them. I would enjoy them. That's what I want to do.
You got to, though. You got to, man. I got rock chips and stuff all on the front of my car, but it's because I'm driving it.
Right.
And you know, I look at it, bothers me. You know, I look at the hood. I was like, oh, maybe I'll go carbon fiber. Maybe I'll get it painted, whatever. But drive it. I'm big on driving it.
I mean, that's been the goal for. That's been my goal. That's my goal forever. I want to drive my cars.
So as far as the shop, we talked about exotics, we talked about JDM, we talked about Euro, we talked about every single genre pretty much. What have you worked on in here that kind of hit you in that moment? You had an epiphany moment. It's like, man, I'm really doing this. Like, what was that one car that you had in the shop that you booked it actually showed up? You know, you got here, you're like, all right, I'm actually doing this. It hit you.
Yeah.
You were like, wow, I'm really doing this. What if you can remember, what car was it?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? Because like again, we've discussed it a few times. I feel like success is obviously defined very differently for everybody, right? You know, I've been,
as far as being rich too. Like people say, yeah, I'm rich in other ways. Like it's not only like material money.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's hard to say that when, you know, a Lamborghini comes in the door and that person's trusted you to do work, you know, tear it apart, build a custom exhaust, right? I mean, you're working with vehicles that are, you know, more than some people's houses, right?
True.
So, you know, I want to say, really, it was more of like, it's so tough, dude, because like, I float between a couple different things, right? I've had...
I mean, it could be, not to cut you off, it could be that the fact that you got the 86 and you're building that. Like, it could be your own car. It's kind of like, wow, I'm really doing this.
Yeah, I won't be so vain, though. It's like, at the end of the day...
My car
was
the one.
It's the Mark IV is the reason, right? I've worked on a lot of Mark IVs, and that to me was awesome, right? Again, you got these guys who are investing, you know, almost $100,000 in some of these things easy.
Yeah.
And it's like they trust you to do it.
Right.
The Lamborghini stuff has been really cool. The exotic stuff has been really cool. I love it. I love them all differently, you know, and the exotics, they're resume builders. It's awesome that, you know, they're attention grabbers.
Yeah.
But yeah, the JDM stuff is what I've always loved, and I still do it. I mean, I have Honda Civics that come in here, right? You know, some of them aren't worth $3,000, but it doesn't matter. I do treat everything.
I get more geeked about a car that's built.
Yeah.
That's it represents the owner.
Yeah.
When I see stuff like that, I appreciate that so much more than just somebody bringing me a car and saying, "Hey, man, can you throw these on here for me?"
Sure. I will say, like, the bolt-on stuff, you know, it's great. You know, obviously there's so many manufacturers that make so many great things. When somebody comes in here and trusts me to use my craftsmanship on their car, that's where I love it. And I think that's probably where it's at. It's not really one specific car. It's somebody bringing that to me to say, I appreciate what you do and I trust you.
And that person will hand you the keys and tell you, "Hey, man, do your thing. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
If it takes an extra day, you let them know. They're like, "Hey, man, don't rush it. Do your thing."
Yep.
The best, bro.
Yep. And you know, and you know, when you're open to the public, for the most part, you don't always get the best of everybody, but I try to treat it all the same. You know, I give it my best, because everything that comes out of here is a reputation for me.
Oh, 100%.
You know, and
you're essentially fixing people's problems sometimes.
Yeah, it's a lot. And that's and generally what I've done over the past 15 years is I've been the king of fixing people's problems. You know, again, we touched based on it a little bit. I started in the domestic world in American Muscle and stuff like that, and I would say, man, at least 75% of the cars that are coming to us had some kind of deficiency, whether it was, oh, you know, my guy threw in this radio and it messed up all the wiring.
Yeah.
Or,
cut,
you know, right. You know, exactly. I mean, the classics, right? And this includes all the JDM classics too. You've got generations of people putting their hands in it, right? We get cars from Japan that
daisy chain.
Oh, yeah, right. Like, and again, you know, we have all of us have different expectation on what is right, you know, and, you know, trying to, again, I'm trying to make cars that are reliable for people. If they want to go nuts, that's the expectation. But realistically, I'm trying to make drivers. I want people to drive their cars.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a lot of race cars in here because that's not what I like driving cars.
Typically, if you say in the race car world, like, that's not your customer. That's not your clientele.
Sometimes.
Really? Is it?
Yeah, sometimes.
Cool, man.
It just depends.
I know a lot of times those guys, they're turning wrenches in their own garage.
Generally,
you know, they've got their equipment all there just to be ready as a driver. Like you said, yeah, you get in a car, you start driving it and racing it. You want to know everything about your car, and you're going to be able to fix anything that goes wrong with your car, because you know that's just, I would assume that's how any driver would be.
You get that.
Time,
you do
time. Sometimes like, hey, I don't have time to fix this. Let me call Paul.
Right.
You know?
And that's kind of like a lot of, sometimes what we end up doing is we just prep cars, right? We can prep a car and get it ready to go to the track, and again, I've done motorsports. I've raced through NASA and Lucky Dog and Skip Barber Racing School, like we discussed.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of trial
I tried to get Paul to wear this if y'all can see it, but he was like, "Nah." I don't
want to be sweating, y'all.
I think
Come
it
on,
would have been
no one
real
needs
cool
that.
though. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways,
but yeah, I mean, realistically, you're good. But yeah, like at the end of the day, man, it's like prepping race cars to let people have fun is a blast. And trackside service, I did that for a while, and it's stressful, right? Being crew chief is stressful. It's like, but it brings its own
the
thrill.
pits, man.
Yeah, it brings its own thrill. And what I have found is, when I was working for Skip Barber, I was at a point in their career where it was their company was not doing well. So it did ruin the racing for me when it came to doing it professionally, because I was never home.
Well, anytime the fun gets taken away at anything, it's time to kind of step back and kind of reassess.
That's it.
Yeah. And we have good days, we have great days, we have bad days. But a bad day is different from something that's taken away your joy from what you love to do.
Yeah.
I'll have a couple bad days and be like, hey, this is one of them days. Work through it.
Yeah.
Come back the next day and it's a whole another turnaround.
That's right.
But when it's every day that you're like, oh, you're dragging your feet, you're like, man, I gotta deal with this today. It's just that's when you got to really step back and be like, hold on.
Right.
Let me reset.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair to those guys, what they offer to the normal person, is an opportunity to break into the racing world. I've met some drivers now who are professionals. I'm friends with them. I can call them. I can say, hey, we go down to the Rolex and shake their hand and say hey to them in the pits. And again, it's about building those relationships with people. And at the end of the day, for me, it's been so rewarding. That pain has been so rewarding. That it brings, it strengthens you as a person. So the character, right? Character building, and I know enough. I think I'm smart enough now, at least as a business person, to go, that's not the best for me in my life.
Yeah.
And especially not me in my business.
Right.
But again, I wouldn't give it up for anything.
Anybody that can do what they love, got to respect that. And and if you feel like you're almost there and you're working that job, and you're showing up every day, and that's not what you're supposed to be doing, just stick it out like I did, and then eventually you'll get fired, and then you'll be able to get that push to do what you're supposed to do.
Boy, yeah, I think I've had to do that before.
Yeah, man. Either way, just whatever it is, even if it's just, if you're at that job that's paying and it's doing what you got to do and it's funding your dream or it's doing whatever you love to do, dude, stay there and get what you got to get out of it, and finish that car.
Yeah.
Finish that car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go in the garage. Go do something.
I know, man. Finish
that
car. Don't rush it though.
Well,
but
maybe.
Finish it.
Depending. Depending on what you got going on. But,
I know, right? You can blame shipping. I get it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, this isn't COVID anymore,
Yeah,
we can't blame that too much.
I don't know where we're at with time, but let's do some rapid fire real quick.
Sure. Hit it.
Go ahead and kind of wrap it up with that. First off, I appreciate you, giving us the tour of your shop, letting us come by and hang out with you, talk cars, garage talk.
Always, man.
Just kind of hang out. I mean, we do this with or without the camera, so
sure.
Just one of those things. So, rapid fire. JDM, Euro, or American? I kind of know the answer
JDM.
already.
Yeah.
Okay.
JDM.
All right. Chocolate chip cookies or Oreo?
Oh, damn. Oh, that's a tough one.
Good one.
So I'll say this: I'm a little picky, but I can always have an Oreo.
True.
Like Oreo's an Oreo. Unless it's off-brand, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna say Oreo today.
How about this? Cookie Crisp or Oreos as far as cereal?
Jeez. Neither? Too much
lactose?
Sugar. No, just too much sugar. I don't know.
Left-hand drive, right-hand drive?
I like right-hand drive.
Okay. Rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive?
Rear-wheel drive.
Rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive?
Rear-wheel drive.
Okay. All right. Good deal. Turbo? Supercharger.
Turbo.
All right. Well, there's that. Let's see. As far as wheels go, I know we mentioned top three. I'm gonna say rapid fire. I'm gonna go with 3: BBS, HRE, or BC.
I'm gonna go with BBS.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good deal. And would you do this again?
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, there's that. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. Culture Driven TV here with Initial G. Paul, thanks again. You guys check out the channel, like, subscribe. Culture Driven TV. Garage Talk episode 1 is a wrap. We'll see y'all on the streets.
See
y'all. Take care.